ranking every single class that's going to be in Nightreign. We're going to watch the Duchess trailer. I'll say this, I don't much like Duchess because she seems very stealthy outside of the being able to redo damage thing. May God's light bless you for those close to you. Be blessed, stay blessed. Absolutely, James. Thank you so much, bro. So all hobos look the same, UD? Yeah, I'm gonna say that. Every hobo in Elden Ring looks the same, and I will treat them as such. If you look hobo-ish, you're Margit to me, and that's all I'll say. Okay. Whoa. All right, chat. This is Duchess. So I'll say this. I don't really like Duchess because it's, first off, they say it plays more like Bloodborne because you don't dodge roll, you kind of dodge step, which is cool. I'll give it that. The skill is like a rewind type of thing to where you can basically do the same damage you just done again, which is sick. I think that's a great ability. I hate the fact that they paired that with this disappearing stealth act thing. I mean, that actually kind of made it look pretty cool. I'll say that. But, oh yeah, no, these guys are going to cook me, no doubt. The rewind double damage ability is sick for Duchess. I just don't like the stealth aspect of it. Especially me, like, probably going to be playing a lot solo. I don't love it. Okay? So I'll say that. Okay. I'll say that, chat. So I'm going to put Duchess. Now, this is me ranking these characters based off how I would play as they were solo. Okay? Like, if I'm playing solo, this is how I'm rating them. So do not cuss me too bad. Okay? I'm going to put Duchess A, if not S, very close S, because being able to rewind and do the damage you just done 5 seconds ago again is sick. If you do like some crazy type of bleed proc or something and then double damage that, I mean, you're going to be solo on bosses pretty easy, I would think. I just feel like playing solo, the stealth ability, I'm not a stealth guy, and I think that's why I don't like it as much. I think that's what's throwing me. I'm going to put her S. I'm going to put her S on the fact that she can just do the double damage thing easily. Regardless if she's a stealth, whatever, I think she's S tier. Gotta be, right, chat? You guys agree? I don't care if you agree, because I know I'm right. Okay. Shh, don't worry about all that. So next up we have I don't know where this guy is. One, two, three, four. Who's this? That's not it. Okay, hang on. No, that ain't him. No, that ain't him. Here we go. Here's my boy. So this is the Executor, chat. And I'll say this. What I know about this guy, pretty sick. Oh, they have Hawk Tua? No doubt. What's up, Omen? Welcome to streaming. Thank you for being here. What's up, Tejas? How to become a streamer? Brother, you find out and then we'll both know. So here's what I like about this guy. Okay. First off, he looks absolutely ill. Okay, like he's got the look. So on top of whatever weapon you're using, you're also going to be able to pull out this katana sword curse thing, which is epic. You're going to be able to do a lot of like parrying stuff with it, like he is right here. You're going to be able to do a ton of damage. It seems pretty sick. And what's honestly, the sword in itself is sick, but his ultimate of being able to turn into this giant furry thing, like that cooks, bro. The parry is crazy. Being able to turn into a wolf and literally sling enemies, that's good. I mean, I'll say this, chat. Just on the fact that this man can parry 100 everythings. He's parrying everything. Bro, do some move. What's up? The fact that this guy can parry everything and also turn into a giant furry that is basically a tank, that's got to be S tier. I mean, that's sick, chat. I don't care who you are. That is sick to me. That's sick to me. So next, we have Hawk Tuah. Okay. So here's what I know about Hawk Tuah. Hawk Tuah, aka Guardian, is exactly that. He has got the most defensive capabilities possible. So he can tank a lot. He's a super hefty tank. I love this AoE right here. And he's a scholar reading books. But his AoE to where he can just send stuff up around is awesome. Going to be helpful, especially if like you're surrounded as a solo player, I think. Also, his ultimate does a whole lot of like buffs to your teammates. I think he does some damage when he comes down as well. But the big thing, let me switch back over here. So the big thing with Hawk Tuah, aka Guardian, I think is going to be like just the defensive capability. Like he's going to be able to just absorb shots for a while. And his AoE that just throws everybody up around him, at least if they're smaller mobs, super goated. I'm going to put him as a solo player. I'm going to put him A because I like the defensive capability. I like the AoE attack he has, which is the giant tornado whirlwind that Godfrey the whatever his name can do, grafted guy can do, which is basically that ability. I just don't love the fact, again, as a solo player, that his ultimate is more or less to like buff his teammates, and he's really more just like, I'm tanking all of the shots. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a solid A as a solo player. So nobody cuss me. Next up, chat, we have Iron Eye. Okay. Now, I'll say this about Iron Eye. I typically don't like archers in video games. I don't know why. I know it makes sense because of the ranged attacks and whatnot. And this guy makes it look straight Robin Hood parkour type stuff. I really like it. The flaming bow is actually pretty sick. And honestly, for a solo player, as long as you can keep your range pretty good, and with the increased mobility, I think you'll be able to do that. He's probably a really viable option because he can kind of pull this down and it penetrates through everybody. Mucho penetration. We love that. The more penetration, the better, right, chat? Gosh, this is tough because I really like all of these classes. So I don't want to like even if I was to put something D tier, it doesn't mean it sucks. You know what I mean? I think I'm going to put him A as a solo player and as my personal preference because one, I don't love archer characters. I just don't love it. Okay. I do, however, think the mobility and the range as a solo player is going to be helpful and beneficial. Can we get a double tap? Absolutely, John. I thought John was saying it. Sorry, bro. Sorry, bro. D tier doesn't mean trash between gold. Yeah, dude, no, 100%. Like these are all phenomenal. I think I'm going to put him A though, just because like nothing is crazy spectacular, in my personal opinion. That being said, and let me ask you guys this question, completely unrelated. So as Iron Eye, or as Hawk Tuah, or as any character, do we think we're locked to those types of weapons? Like, do we think Iron Eye could use Rivers of Blood if I find it? Or do we think the loot that drops for me is only going to be for my character? Because that's kind of interesting. And I guess we'll see that later. I don't know. It's interesting to think about. So do we think that items are class locked, or we're only going to get items that our character would use normally as an option? Because if that's the case, if loot's just on the ground in a multiplayer, I don't know. That's hard. That's a hard question. All right, chat. Next, we have my boy Raider. Now, listen, I like Raider a lot here. I like Raider a ton. So Raider is basically not, he's a defensive guy, but he's just like the barbarian. I'm going to draw the aggro type of guy. So he's got a passive skill that basically makes it to where unless he's getting hit with like a super heavy attack, he's unstunnable, like absolutely unstunnable. And that move right there, his active skill, he basically tanks whatever the next blow is and then punches something in the face, which is pretty epic to me. Like you saw him punch dragons in the face. Honestly, my two mains, this is his ultimate ability right here. He can make this giant block that can be used as like cover. And I think it also does some like passive healing and whatnot. Nah, I mean, he's sick. I like him a lot. Right now, me picking a class to actually play, I'm between Wilder and Raider. Yo, Arcane, thank you so much for the summon. Welcome to the stream team here. Okay. I'm going to put him S tier. And I'm a little biased, okay? Because I love to not get like knocked out of my animations and just be able to swack people with the big bonk stick. Like this is going to be your big bonk guy, and he's going to be unstunnable or I don't know. You know what I mean, chat. I think he's going to be sick. I think he's going to be a really good solo pick because you're going to be able to just tank so much and not even have to worry about getting like out of your animations, which I absolutely love. Yo, thank you so much, JT. I appreciate that, brother. Welcome into the stream team. I don't really know how much his ultimate's going to be helpful. I think it does some healing, but being able to like put down some cover if you absolutely need it is pretty sick. And you can climb on top of it, which I think is going to be very helpful. All right, chat. Next we have the Recluse. Okay. Now, I don't understand a whole lot of what's going on. Two massive reasons she's S tier. Settle down. I see you. I don't really understand a whole lot about this one, other than she's obviously basically magic type. I know she can somehow gather different types of elemental energy from the world and use it. And she looks freaking amazing. Like she's absolutely throwing out some crazy dark blood magic here. Seems pretty effective to me. She's a scholar. She reads books. We love a woman that reads. We love a woman that just hovers so gracefully above the ground. We love that. God, that was sick. Here's my only problem with this individual. Here's my only problem with Recluse. I think as a solo player, it would be hard for me to rely on magic and not be able to just hit him with a big stick. And I probably just don't know what I'm doing well enough. I feel like she's designed more to be a support character. And I don't know how well she's going to do. I don't know how well she's going to do as a solo player. I think if you're really good with the magic, it can be super helpful because you're obviously going to have some range. I just don't know too much about her to be like, oh yeah, she's definitely S tier. I'm going to put her B, ranking as playing solos only, just because I don't know how well she'll do being a main rather than just a support. She might be the best. Are you serious right now? Am I illiterate? Is she actually the best solo player? Let me know. If the Recluse is going to be the best solo player, let me know, because I am firmly convinced that she is only like locked in to be a good support. I could be wrong. Please prove me wrong. Okay, next we have this lady. And I don't think we have a whole lot about her. So this is the Revenant. And we've not seen a whole lot about her. I'm pretty confident that she can do summons. At least this giant skeleton. We've seen that in 2 trailers now. So Harp Lady cannot play worth a lick. I hate that. But she's summoning stuff. So she's looking to be mainly a summon, but also doing some melee damage, which is wild. She just ripped this man's soul out of his body. So we've at least got 2 summons, and I like that. Okay. So she's 100% summoning people. She could be me. Oh, maybe when she eliminates enemies in the game, she's not a scholar, she's just suppressed. Maybe when she eliminates enemies in the game, she can like create them as Spirit Ash. So she might be our shot to get Mimic, which would be insane. Okay, her Rage Burst ability, I'm assuming, can heal multiple downed allies at the same time. We'd love to see that. Okay, chat. I'll say this about the little bit we know about, what was her name? Revenant? Is that what her name was? Yeah. Here's what I'll say about Revenant. It looks like she's got Spirit Ash abilities, and she's summoning, she's got summoning magic. I think summoning magic goes OP. If there's even the smallest chance that she gets something even relatively close to my character build but Mimic, aka Rivers of Blood, aka a Bleed proc, aka it's got to be done type stuff, I think she's S tier. The little bit I've seen, I think her summoning and melee abilities, she's in there. She's got to be in there. Right, chat? Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me. Her rank will depend on the summon AI. I agree with that, and that is tough. Like, how good is this? Is the summon AI? And it looked like she could at least have 3 things summoned at the same time. And that's a crazy stipulation. Like, how good are the summons going to behave? That's wild. I think she's either going to be the best or the worst character, and it really depends on how well these summons are going to act. Honest opinion. All right, gentlemen, last one, and arguably the main character here. I think it was this one. No, it's Guardian. Sorry, chat. Here we go. Now, this guy is arguably the main character. All right, he's your default class. He's your all-around type of class. Most enemies have AoE, though. That's a fair point. So what I know about this guy is that he's got a wrist rocket and looks super dope. Oh, and the grapple hook. I forgot all about that. So he's obviously a beast. With the grapple hook ability, he's able to pull smaller enemies towards him, and he's able to pull himself towards larger enemies. So I think that's going to be super effective. I think his mobility is going to be kind of crazy. I like how he plays with what we got going on here with the longsword and the shield. I think he's going to be sick. He can also somehow load absolutely crazy things into the wrist gauntlet, which seems sick. Also, he's a statue. I will say this. I think he's going to be absolutely goated. I think the grapple hook's going to make for some crazy plays. I think he's going to have main character energy, and we're obviously loading explosives into our hook shot. That's what we'll call it for all you Zelda fans out there. I'm going to put him S tier just because I want to. And let me say this, chat, before we close this whole segment, I do not think any of these characters are bad. I think every class in this game is going to be pretty sick. Truthfully, I do. Like, I think any of these are going to be awesome. I'm ranking these based off of how much I want to play them and how well I think they would do in like solo type environment.